Let's go ahead and begin our Murray City Council meeting. I'd like to begin with the ask if you've got any cell phones or other devices, if you'll mute them. Appreciate that. We'll begin our ceremonies with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Jennifer to lead us.
Rise if you can and repeat the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay. Don't see any scouts in the room, so we'll press on. Approval of minutes from council meeting on January 2nd, 2018.
I'll move approval of the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're now at the special recognition portion of our program. This is where we acknowledge a outstanding employee for the month. This particular Murray City Council employee of the month is Clint Mills, and he's with the Fleet Division mechanic there. We'll have Brent Hales and Danny Astle presenting.
Thanks, Dave. Come on up, Clint and Danny. Clint, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Danny says you were really excited for this, and you've wanted it all your life, so we finally get it. Look at him. Well, Clint, we started this about 5 years ago, and so just as an appreciation from a council for all you do and the recommendation from Doug and Danny, we'd like to present you with Employee of the Month, and there is a gift certificate for $50, and then they'll have your name back there forevermore on a plaque. And then here's a certificate from the council. And again, just want to show appreciation from the council how much you do. So thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I don't want him to go anywhere because I have some things here. So first of all, thank you, Mayor and Council, for the opportunity to recognize somebody from our Public Works, but specifically our Fleet Division and this evening. So I will say that after we told Clint that we're looking at this recognition for him, that he called in that Friday, said he was sick, and the very next week he was gone the whole week. So I'm not sure that it was the recognition that was concerning him, but no, he was really ill. I'm sorry. I was just kidding. But we're very glad that he returned to work today, so we're glad to see him. And although I was a little worried, though, because he didn't know it was tonight. It was kind of a last-minute thing for him since he was gone all last week. So, but I'm glad that he was able to make it. So, so I just wanted to talk just for a second on Clint. Clint Mills, he came to this city as a very seasoned and Ford-trained and certified mechanic with experience in working in a wide range of vehicles, and just he's been here almost 3 years. And so within that 3 years' time, Clint has been with the city. He has shown his skills and proficiency in his craft in many different facets and opportunities. He's become a very valuable member of the fleet maintenance group. And Clint is one of those guys you just want to go and talk to. Doesn't matter, there's just those type of people. Clint is this guy. And there's always a couple of guys standing around him, and we always have to go in the shop. Okay, guys, go to work. Leave Clint alone. He's got work to do, but he's a really good guy. So he takes the time to get to know the numerous employees that come in every day, and you can imagine between police, fire, parks, fleet, Public Works, all of the vehicles, the number of vehicles that are in there, and he could tell us the number, but he gets to know the people. He gets to know each of these guys, and I've been very impressed with him because he knows their first and last names, and he knows what cars they drive, and it's just flabbergasts me. but I've been impressed with that. So, but he has a very infectious, good attitude, and he makes everybody feel good about coming in the shop, and to the point that like I said, people want to come up and talk to him, but he's made a very significant impact in the shop, and he makes everybody feel like their cars, that they matter, and that their cars are in good hands when they bring it in and talk to him. So tonight, we just want to recognize Clint for the significant impact that he's made in the fleet shops and his capabilities, but he continues to provide the service that Murray City's used to. So I'd like to congratulate him personally. So I don't know if you want to introduce any family members that are with you.
Oh, they couldn't make it today. They're all homesick.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, they are. Just want to say thank you. I'm glad to have my job here and look forward to working with everybody.
Great.
Thank you, Clint.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Clint.
Okay, before we get to the next item, I noticed we did have a scout come in and join us, so I'm going to ask this young man to stand, tell us your name and your troop number. Your name and troop number, go ahead.
My name is Lucas Bigler, and I'm from Troop 93, and I'm doing my citizenship in the community right now.
Very good. Thank you, Richard. All right. Okay, this next item is a special item. We're going to consider a joint resolution of the Mayor and Murray City Municipal Council in appreciation for Janet Towers. Mayor Camp will be presenting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Council. This is a day that I knew was coming and I was not looking forward to, but I'm pleased tonight to be able to honor Janet Towers, and I'd like to read this resolution of appreciation from the Mayor and the Municipal Council. Whereas Janet Towers has spent a number of years dedicated to public service in Murray City, and most recently in the Murray City Mayor's office for over 4 years, and whereas Janet has been a devoted public servant and an advocate for enhancing city functions and services, she has worked diligently to ensure that the administrative functions in the city were handled in a timely and professional manner, working tirelessly to develop solid relationships, communicate openly, and promote a positive reputation of the city, ensuring that Murray remains a city without equal. And whereas Janet demonstrated true devotion and dedication as a friend and employee, excuse me, it was that bridge mix, by accepting extensive responsibility when Mayor Ayer's health was failing, exhibiting such admirable traits as honesty, loyalty, and a commitment to doing what is best for the community of Murray. She exhibited wisdom and grace when Mayor Ayer passed away, working strategically and diligently to ensure that press and communications were accurate and properly reflected the great legacy of Mayor Ayer. And whereas Janet has been a friend and advocate to the employees of Murray City, communicating often about her genuine appreciation of their work and efforts. Her support of employees and recognition of their good deeds and a job well done has made her a beloved member of the Mayor's office staff. And whereas Janet has worked diligently in developing and submitting communications to the City Council, update articles to the Murray Journal, and other information to promote the community and keep the citizens informed, her exceptional ability to communicate, providing a voice of reason and clarity, has resulted in a greater understanding of city operations and earned the appreciation, respect, and admiration of our citizens, elected officials, and staff members. And whereas Janet provided exceptional expertise in working with elected officials in the city, the county, and the legislature. And I know she's going to miss the legislature. Now I lost my spot, sorry. Her ability to cultivate positive relationships with elected officials has proven to be extremely valuable for Murray City and our citizens. And whereas Janet is a person of exceptional talent, including her musical abilities on the piano and organ, her creativity in making crafts, her ability to organize and effectively arrange events, both large and small, and her impeccable taste in design and clothing. And whereas Janet will be deeply missed by the city's elected officials, department heads, staff, and particularly the mayor's office as the person with all the answers, and especially as a colleague and friend. And whereas Janet is married to Jim, whom we also recognize for his support of her continued dedication to the city. Together they have 3 daughters, Brittany, Mercedes, and McCall. Jim and Janet are devoted and loving parents and grandparents that we should all aspire to emulate. And whereas Janet will now be able to relax and travel endlessly, hopefully attending performances on Broadway and participating in many other activities she enjoys, being a person in constant motion, we are sure she will continue to make friends wherever she goes and will better the lives of those who are fortunate enough to know her. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor of Murray City and the Murray City Municipal Council that the city hereby recognizes the service of Janet Towers as the benefit of her service has brought to the citizens of Murray City. Council, that's the resolution.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have a motion?
I can hardly talk, Janet. I'll move to approve the joint resolution of the mayor and Murray City Municipal Council in appreciation for Janet Towers.
I'll second.
Aye.
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 So it's now passed, approved, and adopted the 16th day of January 2018, signed by the mayor and the city council. Janet, would you come up? I'd like to present this copy of this resolution to you, Janet, and just a few words.
Said you would do this.
I didn't make any promises. I can tell you that none of us know what Janet has done the last few years behind the scenes. None of us know, except maybe Jim. She has been the glue in the mayor's office through some very, very difficult times. And it has been my pleasure to... it's been such a pleasure. Why am I crying about it? It's been my pleasure to work with Janet over the last several months. She is just an amazing person, and I can tell you that she has served the citizens of this city very well, and we're going to miss her. We're going to miss you a lot, Janet. And we have a little something for you, but we're going to make you come to department head meeting tomorrow to get it, so you can't leave yet.
I'll be there.
And then I'd like to turn some time over to Diane before you speak and introduce your family. Okay.
I'm still in denial, and anyway. Without Janet to see us through some very difficult times, I don't know what we would have done, and I don't know what I would have done for my month of being the mayor. I mean, without Janet, I couldn't have done it. And on behalf of the council and of me, thank you so much for all your service. And you're just wonderful. And I'm going to miss you. And anyway, here. Thank you.
Well, thank you, council members and the mayor, for this privilege. It's truly touching to me. I'm really a backstage person. I'd rather just be at my office doing work than here tonight. But I just want to take a few minutes and acknowledge some of the people that have meant so much to me. Number one, I've had the privilege to work for 2 and 3 mayors, and I just have to say they were remarkable people. 2 of them that have served the longest, Mayor Iyer, Mayor Camp. They're very different people, but they have 2 things in common. Number one, they love the city enough that they both have left retirement to come back. And number 2, they have a heart of gold, and their heart is in serving the citizens of this community. And I thank them for the examples and the things that they have taught me. I'm a very fortunate person to be able to work with them. Also, the other members in this mayor's office who have shown friendship and have taught me so much. I appreciate them. The mayor has selected incredible new staff that's come into the office, in Doug and Jade and Tracy and in Jennifer. And our citizens in our city is going to be so well served by the talents that they have and their incredible things that they're going to bring to the city. And we now have a fully staffed mayor's office. And just watch this roll. They're going to do great things for the city. I also have to acknowledge another mentor of mine, which is, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned him, but Mayor Pett. He's mentored me for many years and just kept me involved. I say that I'm recycled because I worked for Murray City a long time ago for 5 years, and Mayor Pett would just never let me walk away. And he's just kept me busy and said, you've just got to stay involved, which I've done because look at me, here I am tonight. So I owe a great deal to Mayor Pett, and I loved him dearly. The council, I feel like I worked during the Camelot years because the relationship with the council members and the mayor has truly been one I could have never asked for anymore. And I think of each of you as my dear friend, and thank you so much for devoting your time and your willingness to serve the citizens. You're to be commended for that. And you do a great job. I've never seen you vote except for what your constituents need you to vote for. And I admire that in each of you. And to Jan and the staff in the council office, I know that many cities are envious of the relationship that we have between our council and mayor, and I know it's due to you and your staff, and thank you and honor you for what you do. And I call them my department heads. They're my department heads. I know Jim's heard that many times, but they are my department heads. I could have done this job without them. They've mentored me, they've taught me, they've been patient, they've guided me, they've helped me learn the things that they're doing. And my hat's off to you. You're all experts and leaders in your field. And I truly admire that. And also, I get to share this evening with 3 new department heads, and what an honor that is for me to be able to do that. The citizens are so well served by the employees that we have. I never knew what the Murray way was until I worked for the city, and it truly is. It's a tangible thing. We live in the Murray way. And it's because of the citizens, it's because of our employees, the services that they provide for our citizens that we have the Murray Way, and we're the envy of all the cities in this valley. I want to acknowledge my family that's here with me. I'm going to start with my little people first. I've got my nephew, Brock, and my little niece, Talia. If you'll just hold your hands up. Did I say, what did I say, grandson? Did I say it just opposite? Niece and nephew. Oh, yeah, they're grandchildren. And I've got, I think, maybe 3 other little grandsons watching online, and I appreciate them so much for their devotion to their grandma. But then I also have my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Jerry and Ida. I've got my daughter, Brittany, and her husband, Chad, and my daughter, my sweet daughter, that everybody in the city knows because she's my Velcro to my hip, McCall. And I've got dear friends in Ruth and Suzanne here. And then my other family in Dallas that's watching online, I thank them too. But then I have to say to my husband, I knew this would be the end. Thank you so much, Jim, for supporting me. And I look forward to learning how to play and to relax, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. But we're going to have a great time together, and I love you dearly. And I just want to close and say that in any situation where you work is just work. But the things that you take away is because of the people and the relationship you made. And I'm going away with a boatload of memories because of each of you. And so thank you very much.
Don't step down just yet. Just wait there. I think
Make me cry anymore.
well, I know I have something to say, and I'm sure the other council members would like to share with you. I'll begin. I've either served or liaisoned with cities and towns since 1977. I've met a whole handful of mayors and council members and city managers and department heads. But I have got to tell you, Janet, you are the consummate professional. I've been nothing but impressed by the work you've done for Murray and its citizens. And not only are you the consummate professional, but you're an outstanding human being. And the loyalty you demonstrated to our former mayor, Ted Iyer, was uncomparable. And you've taught me lessons, and I've appreciated that. And I wish you well in your retirement, and you deserve a good retirement. So thank you for all you've done.
Very much.
I don't know how I follow that because I agree with everything you said. I'm new on the council, but the last few months I've been around the council meetings, and then since I've been elected, I've really grown to appreciate you and what you've done and what you do. And I'm jealous of you. You're going on a cruise. You're going to go on a motorhome trip. You're going to just have fun, but you need to learn to relax. That will come after a week, I guarantee it.
I like being wound up all the time.
No, it's true. Dave said it very well, Janet. Thank you. You will be missed. It has truly been a pleasure. Jim, thank you for sharing her with us. And do go have fun. I'm envious. I've got 2 more months, and it's harder every day to go to work. So good luck and enjoy, but don't be a stranger.
I don't know what else there is to say other than you're wonderful and we'll really miss you. And thanks for all you've done, all you do.
Well, I have a lot to say. Don't I always, McCullough? I want you to start doing my laundry starting when you get back from your trip. So I just heard about that today. Your mom your props were like major. She says she's the best in the world. Of course, she has to say that because you'll stop doing it if she does anything bad. But anyway, very complimentary. But McCullough, you've been a blast to have you around. You've been fun. And Jim, I've grown to love and appreciate you. You're a good man. And Janet, thanks for all you've done. I feel like you're. I know they say come back, but I know you very well. You're not going to be back a whole lot, so I'm going to have to go to Wendover with you and Jim. We'll get Ruth. We'll get Ruth to go with us. So, anyway, thank you for all you've done and for the support of your family. And you've been amazing. We love you.
Let's give Janet a hand. Okay, that concludes.
Now, Dave, I need to correct. Wendover to go to a concert. I've got to make sure we go to a concert in Wendover.
Yes.
Good
Very
save.
good. I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah, I thought if my bishop's watching this online, I got to make sure I correct that. So.
Well, that concludes our recognition portion of the program. We now move to a opportunity for citizen comments. We ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes, and anything you have that you want to share with the council and the mayor, now's the time to do it. If you'll just be so kind as to state your name and your address so we have it for the minutes when we do our records.
My name's David Moffett. I work for NeighborWorks Salt Lake, 4843 Poplar Street here in Murray. And I'm a construction manager there. And I just wanted to come tonight and let you know how much I appreciate being able to work in Murray, how much Murray impresses me all the time about how well they work and how things get done. In my line of work in construction, it's sometimes very difficult to get projects done and get cooperation out of the city entities. But in Murray, we don't seem to have that issue. Two of the main things that I focus on in my job are providing home improvement projects for residences, and then also we purchase homes and remodel them and try to get them in the hands of first-time buyers, more affordable homes. As you all know, it's a lot harder to find affordable housing right now than it ever has been, and so we try to do our very best to keep the costs down and make homes affordable for first-time buyers. As far as the home improvement side of it goes, I like to go in and help people that need maybe new windows to help with the energy efficiency of their homes, or maybe their roof is leaking and they need roofs, and we have the ability to provide the funds to get that done. If they can't do it any other way, we can possibly help them with their projects. When it comes to the purchase of homes and remodel, that's where I really enjoy. Trying to remodel an old home that was built in the early 1900s can be a challenge, but it's really neat to turn them into something useful again. We started our first home over on Box Elder Street. Many of you might know that area. I think in the time I've been here now, about 7 years, I've seen a dramatic change in the Box Elder and Hanauer streets in the quality of the homes. They've been fixed up. There were several vacant homes that have since been remodeled and are now being occupied. It's getting harder and harder to do that. The first two homes we bought on Box Elder Street back in 2012, we were able to purchase for $70,000. Now you'd probably have a hard time purchasing those same homes for at least double that. So it makes it very difficult to purchase a home, remodel it, and still make it affordable. But we certainly enjoy the challenge, and we try to make it nice for new people. And I would like to think that the collaboration between Murray City and NeighborWorks has provided for a lot of this growth, the improvement in the neighborhoods around the city.
So you have 30 seconds.
Okay, and so anyway, and the main reason I'm here too is I'd like, in that vein, is on Wednesday, January 24th, we're having an open house at a house on 276 East Vine Street, which is our latest project. We just completed it. And I would like to invite each and every one of you to attend and see what we do and how we go about it. And that's Wednesday the 24th, and it'll be from 4 to 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no others, we'll move on then. Nothing on consent agenda, public hearings, or unfinished business, so we'll move right to new business. Item 10.1, consider a resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of G.L. Critchfield as the Murray City Attorney. Mayor Camp presenting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you all know, with the retirement of Frank Nakamura, left us a void in the attorney's office. And many of you have worked with GL. I know Jim over especially clear back to planning and zoning days. I had the pleasure of working with GL back in those days as well. And I'm very pleased to be able to appoint GL as our new city attorney, and with your advice and consent. And I just want to share with you a couple of things about GL. First of all, GL's worked for the city of Murray for over 20 years, as you know, and knows the ins and outs of the city. Janet mentioned that she's like a kind of behind-the-scenes person. Well, GL kind of likes to fill that role in the attorney's office as well. But everything, or I should say nothing, gets past him. He's very, very thorough. He's been the city prosecutor and of course, the deputy city attorney. Prior to being here at Murray, he worked for the state of Nevada in the public defender's office for 4 years. And so he's got a pretty well-rounded background there. And he has an undergraduate degree from Utah State and received his law degree. You do have a law degree, right? Received his law degree from Willamette University in Salem, Oregon. GL's married to Becky. Is Becky here tonight? Yes. Oh, good. Oh, good. And they have 7 children and 7 grandchildren. And so I would ask for your consent to the appointment of GL Critchfield for the city attorney.
I would be more than happy to make a motion. We adopt a resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of GL Critchfield as the Murray City Attorney.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Aye. Good. All right. Well,
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor.
Congratulations, GL.
We can now roll this out.
All right.
That's great.
Awesome. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move to our second resolution, providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Danny Astle as the city's public works director. Mayor Camp.
Thank you again. With the appointment of Doug Hill as Chief Administrative Officer, which I think is a real plus for our city, and we're really pleased to have Doug there. Created an opening in public works and public services, which we, of course, decided to make that into 2 separate departments as it was some years ago. The rationale is it takes 2 people to replace Doug, but but anyway, so with your consent, would like to appoint Danny Astle as the Public Works Director. Danny has worked for the city of Murray for 23 years as a water superintendent. Prior to that, he worked for Central Valley, and he was there for 5 years. Granger Hunter Improvement District for 9 years. And of course, as you know, and you saw him in action earlier this evening, he's been involved in many of the upgrades of Murray's water system, and including the installation of the remote read meters and remote read meters, and the drilling of 4 wells, along with the construction of the Grant storage tank, which is down by the Heritage Center. As well as the implementation of fluoride, and we're not going to talk about whether that's a good thing or not. It was just that Danny did great work there. Danny is married to Karen, and I know she's here tonight. Where are you, Danny? Up clear in the back, okay. And they have 3 children and 9 grandchildren. So with your consent, would like to appoint Danny Astle as Public Works Director.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Danny Astle as the city's Public Works Director.
Been motioned. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and seconded. Jennifer?
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Brass?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Helms?
Aye.
Mr. Naponsky?
Aye.
Thank you. And since Danny's not sitting up here like GL, Danny, would you stand and be recognized?
Okay. We'll now move on to our final resolution, providing advice and consent. It's a resolution of advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Kim Sorensen as the city's Parks and Recreation Director.
Okay, thank you. Again, with the realignment of our departments, we have recreated the Parks and Recreation Department, and would ask for your consent to appoint Kim Sorensen as the Department Director for Parks and Recreation. Kim, you all know Kim. He's been with the city for 35 years full-time and 5 years part-time before that. And I didn't, would you start when you were 2? He started as a seasonal employee and has been a maintenance worker, a lead worker, a field supervisor, as well as park superintendent. So very well versed. He also has a bachelor's degree from the University of Utah in, I believe it's Parks and Recreation Management. Is that right? Yeah. He has been instrumental in the construction of the Jordan River Parkway, Willow Pond Park, the Murray Amphitheater, the pickleball courts, and numerous park improvements over the years. Kim is married to Cindy, and she's here this evening. Together they have 4 children and 2 grandchildren, with another on the way. And I'm assuming that's another grandchild on the way, right? Okay, just look at him. Just making sure. So with that, I would ask for the council's consent to appoint Kim Sorensen as the Director of Parks and Recreation.
To the council.
I'll make a motion we adopt the resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Kim Sorensen as the city's Parks and Recreation Director.
Okay, motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and seconded, Jennifer?
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Brass?
Aye.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. House?
Aye.
Mr. Jablonski?
Aye. Okay, do you want to have Kim? Go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to
Yeah.
have Kim stand and be recognized as well.
Mr. Chair, over here. I'm just thinking back years ago. I remember Kim telling me that when he got the job with Murray City, it said something to the effect like, "When are you going to grow up and get a real job?" And look at it, it's been how many years? 35 years.
Wow.
And you're 45 years old. That's awesome.
Just a baby.
That's very good, Councilman Hales. Thank you. Any other comments from the council? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move to the mayor for his report.
Thank you. I don't think I talked this much when I was on the council. No, thank you very much for your support tonight. We're very excited about the direction that the city is going, and we're certainly going to miss Janet. But thank you for all the kind words you had to say this evening. Just a couple of things real quick. David Moffat mentioned the NeighborWorks home. I just want to reiterate that the home here at 276 East Vine, that open house again is on Wednesday, January 24th from 4 to 6 p.m. Shortly after I was elected to council, NeighborWorks had an open house, the first one I went to a little over 4 years ago, or about 4 years ago, over in the neighborhood just east of Fashion Place Mall, and that was my first dealing with NeighborWorks. And since then, been involved in a number of their projects, and we're very, very proud of the relationship that we have with them. So we hope that if you have time to stop by and see the good work they're doing there. For your information, we set a new record for passport applications this past Friday. I made a comment when I came in Friday that Friday's a really busy day, and little did I know that was going to be the busiest day for passports in a single day. Kudos to Jennifer and her staff. Processed 49 new applications and 5 renewals in one day. Took 25 photos, and all resulting in $1,500 of revenue for a single day. So I was joking that they must have had a sale on them looking at the line down the hall, but good work. Finally, well, two other things, actually. Our GIS staff members will be participating in the Maps on the Hill event. I don't know if any of you have been to that at the legislature, but this year it's scheduled for January 30th from 7 to 10 a.m., and it's a great opportunity to showcase Murray and our fantastic GIS department, and they'll demonstrate how we use mapping technology in our city. So that That will be on January 30th from 7 to 10 a.m. Invite you to that if you're able. And then, finally, on January 3rd, I had the opportunity of attending with Denise and Tim Tingy and Chief Rodriguez, along with a couple of representatives from George K. Baum, to attend a credit rating presentation for our S&P rating for the upcoming fire station bond. And we didn't get to fly to San Francisco, but we did get to go downtown and took care of this over teleconference. The good news is that after an excellent presentation that was put together largely by Denise and under her direction. Denise, where are you? Oh, standing back in the corner. We received just this afternoon the news that our bond rating will be upgraded from a AA minus to a AA. And the good news for that is that this rating will also be attached to our outstanding sales tax revenue bonds, as well as interest savings of interest on our City Hall bond too when we go out for that, hopefully in the very near future, along with the fire station. So kudos to Denise, and that's good news for us. And again, shows the great fiscal leadership that we have here in the city. So, and that's my report.
Any questions for the mayor? Okay, we will stand adjourned. Thank you for coming, folks.